Okay, hello everybody, it's I, Jeffrey Runescapefar. Today we are reacting to the life and times of Lovable Hatsune Miku. I helped her come up with that name, so you're welcome. Uh, in this video, we're going to be reacting to this video by Lovable Hatsune Miku. It talks about her life from the happiest moments to the saddest moments, which start about right here, when the transition starts. We're going to be doing the whole thing because I tried doing this in parts and something would screw it up, so I'm going to have to redo the whole thing anyway, so let us begin.
I am Lovable Hatsune Miku, and in today's video, I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself. Meaning, like, I'm going to talk about my childhood and kind of the type of person I am, and the things I like, and basically stuff that's happened in my life. So, this video will be happy and sad at the same time. I think I'll start off with the happy stuff first, and then the sad parts, like the sad stuff, will come later on. So, I guess yeah, just a little bit of a heads up, and I guess in this video you guys will finally know my real name, but not my age. So I guess I'll just start with where I'm from and where I'm born. So as you guys know, I live in Canada, so I'm Canadian, but I wasn't originally born in Canada. I was actually born in Ukraine, but I was born in the Hungarian part in Ukraine, so the Hungary side, I guess. So I'm Hungarian, and um, well, to put it this way, I grew up in an orphanage, like as a child, and I actually stayed in that orphanage for the first 2 years of my life. And my parents adopted me, and they took me to Canada with my brother. So yeah, I've been living in Canada ever since, and it's really fun. I really like it. Canada's pretty interesting. Everyone's pretty nice. So as a child growing up, school was very difficult for me. I really didn't like school. I don't think anyone likes school except for, I don't know, some people I guess like school. But for me, I really didn't like school, and I still don't like school to this day. Growing up as a child, I have a little bit of autism, and it's high institutional autism, meaning like people who grow up in an orphanage, they have that kind of stuff. So like stuff might trigger a body emotion or something, or a memory. Like an example for me, like growing up in the orphanage, I really don't like babies. Just want to point that out. Babies, I really could care less about. Like normal people, I see like normal people, they get like so excited with babies and stuff, and they talk like cute to them and stuff. But like with me, I just don't care. I kind of talk to a baby like I am right now. Like I don't baby talk to a baby. I baby talk to a dog, but not a baby. So that's one example. Rocking is kind of a little bit of a thing I do. Well, actually a lot, but it's really hard to control. But it's interesting, and I don't know. My brother also does it too, and socially isolated. Like I isolate myself from crowds of people, like a bit of a wallflower. But that's another reason. But I'll get onto that later. And I guess touching my nails. I really like to touch my nails, like the tips. Like I don't know why. I just like touching my nails. Probably because they're so sharp. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I don't know. And stuff like that. Well, I guess sometimes making weird sound. Well, not weird sounds, but weird. Yeah, I guess maybe weird sounds or noises, or babbling. Like I babble to my dog. I don't know why, but she kind of understands it. So I'm like, Mom, it's a secret code I made with my dog and stuff like that. But yeah, since that I have those things, kind of it's hard to hide it sometimes, but I do a pretty good job of hiding it because when I tell people I have autism, they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have autism. I'm just really good at hiding it." And another thing I have is a little bit of a learning disability. Since that in elementary school, well, I guess kindergarten, not, yeah, maybe elementary school, I was put in a learning center, meaning like you kind of I was with other students. My brother was with me too, meaning it's a it's like a classroom, and they have teachers and stuff. And basically, what they do is that they teach you really easy stuff, like 1 plus 1 and stuff, and they go really easy on you. And it's
I was in a class similar to that. I was put in special ed for, I guess, actually my whole entire school from, I think, 2nd grade to 12th grade. I was in the special education class. Even my advisor when we had advisory was a special ed teacher, and they were all very nice. One of them, Miss Thibodeau, she was an outstanding special ed teacher. Um, I still talk to her every now and then. She's an amazing person. I know her son. He actually went to college with me. That was actually very nice to see. But I do feel like that. Like a lot of the stuff was really dumbed down for me to the point to where I felt like just looking at the normal questions and everything was just so confusing to me because they told me this is how you need to do it, and then now that I'm away from that, where they no longer say this is how you should do it, but this is the actual way to do it, it's just confusing to me. So I think special education does help out a lot of gifted students who have disabilities and a hard time learning. However, after high school, they really don't do much for you in college. I still got to use a calculator during math tests, and I could use the testing center, but that's really, I had a lot more on my IEP that was allowed, but in college, a lot of those got taken away and replaced with other things. And like for my CompTIA test, if I want to take that with extended time, which it says on my IEP I can, I have to go all the way down to I think it's Mobap, or not Mobap. I don't know. It's like an hour drive just to take this test in a specialized testing center. So that is a very big inconvenience for me. That's not really a convenience if I have to drive an hour for my accommodations to be met. So it's a little bit bullshit on that, and I kind of wish my professor kind of told us that. Like, he originally told us that, okay, if you have a, disability thing, you can get the extended time, that's okay. And then he said, well, actually, if you, ours apparently can't accommodate it, so if you want it, it's about an hour's drive. And then they said, well, if you're doing this special accommodation, if they require information, they can cancel your test at any time, and your test will be void. Meaning I would have to buy another voucher, because they can do that. So it's like, yeah, that's not really accommodating me. If I arrive there on the scene 15 minutes early, like they tell you to, and they say, oh, sorry, we needed more paperwork, we're canceling your test. And that actually did happen to someone in my class. And she was so stressed out and upset about that. So that took a few days to get the right paperwork and everything, because they needed updated paperwork. And we applied for these. Keep in mind, we took these tests in December. Okay? We applied for them in November. They had from November 15th until the days we chose to took them. Most of them took them in December. I was dumb enough to take it in November, the last week of November. But she had hers also set for the last week of November. They had for then, that was 3 weeks to actually tell us that, hey, we need more paperwork on you, not to the day of. So special education in high school is a joke. I mean, in college is a joke. High school, I feel like it is kind of too, because you're helping them try to understand it, but you only teach them a specific way. And then at that point, when they try to do it in the normal world, they're going to do it the non-special way that you were taught.
You're not really in the same like level as the other students, so you're kind of not like dumb. It's not for like, well, it's hard to explain, but learning centers they just help you in a way. So yeah, I guess that's how I would describe it. And growing up, being in a learning center and everything, people treat you different because I found that when I was in the learning center, people treated me different. Like, they would go really easy on me, and like they thought I was stupid or something. And I'm like, guys, I'm not really stupid. I just have a little bit of trouble. Like, my learning disability affects me still, and I really hate it, honestly. Basically, what my learning disability is, I can't learn like the same way other people do. Like, I'm a visual learner, so I have to see it, and showing me once or 3 times won't work. Like, I might have to watch someone explain or do something to me, like, probably 25 times maybe. Like, I really have to watch them do it until I actually understand. And sometimes I won't even understand, so I kind of have to tell them, like, could you explain it to me the way I would know or the way I would think? But yeah, hey, even with my learning disability, I still graduated high school and I'm in college now, so I must be doing something right. I really don't like my learning disability. It really affects me and I hate it a lot and it stresses me out. Because people could say like the simplest thing to me and I won't understand. Like jokes, for instance, like I won't understand a joke, so they have to explain it to me. And one time I was playing this board game with my friend. It was like Harry Potter Clue, and she explained it to me, and I didn't understand any of the things she said, but I still played it, and I had no idea what I was doing. I just played it to be nice, even though I know nothing about Harry Potter that much, really. But I lost, so no surprise. But it's stuff like that. Like, I really hate it. Oh my god, it's really annoying. And I guess, like, growing up, my friends were very interesting, I guess you could say. Like, my best friend, growing up, she was, how do I say it in a very nice way, but not to be, like, super mean? She was kind of controlling, I guess you could say. A little bit, toxic at times. Well, actually, very toxic. So, when I was in kindergarten, like, I used to go to another school, but then my mom made me go to a new school because she didn't like the way the teachers were dealing with me because again, since I grew up in an orphanage, like I would get really sad when my mom would leave and the teachers wouldn't let her stay with me in the class for a little bit, so they kind of just ripped me apart from her and I would get really sad. So my mom didn't like the way they were teaching, so she took me to another school because she was fed up with the other school. But the school I went to, elementary school, they accepted it for a little bit. You know, they would let her sit in the classroom, and I don't know why. I don't really like it that much when I think about it. I'm like, wow, did I really need my mom to sit with me in class? Now that I think about it, I'm like, God, that's so pathetic. But hey, whatever helps me feel good, I guess. But that's not my fault because it's just the way I am because the way I grew up in an orphanage. So of course I have attachment issues, like who I guess anyone who lives in an orphanage would. So can you really blame me? I'm still a normal person. But yeah, growing up with a kind of controlling friend, I mean, it was interesting at first because, of course, I went to the new school and I was kind of upset. So a teacher kind of paired us up together and she's like, be friends. And I was like, okay. So we kind of hung out and stuff. But I've noticed that, I think it started when I was like, probably when I turned 10. Okay, like, when I was 10 years old, she introduced me to like Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff like that, and I was like, this is really cool. And we would like RP or role play, and it was really fun. Like, yeah, and there were some times when I didn't really feel like role playing with her. Like, we did it every single day, and we would walk this track around the school, and we did it every day. Like, honest to God, people actually thought we were dating because we walked around that track so many times because we were always together. But anyways, there were times when I didn't really feel like role playing, and she would be like, "Well, okay, then what do you want to do?" And I was kind of like, "Oh, geez, she doesn't really care about the things that I wanted to do."
See, that right there is a toxic friendship. I've seen it so many times. Basically, the toxic friend wants everything to be about them. They don't really care what you want to do. They just want to have people to make them look like they have more friends. But in reality, they really don't care about you or what you mean or nothing like that. Or not what you mean, what you stand for. They're just, okay, yeah, 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 now let's talk about me. Let's do what I want to do. I don't want to do what you want to do. That's a bad friendship right there.
I guess you could say because it always had to be her way, and being the person that I was, I kind of just shut my mouth and I smiled and I was like, okay. I would kind of, basically to explain it, I just let her have it her way all the time. Like, I would never say no to something. Well, except for birthday parties, because I don't like birthday parties because I don't like crowds of people. Another fun fact about me, I am an introvert, and the nicest way I could say that is that an introvert is someone who loses energy at social gatherings. Like, we really don't like to be social versus like with an extrovert, they get energy from being with people. Introverts, on the other hand, we lose our energy as soon as we're out in public with people. it just drains us really fast. So we really like to just be alone, and we don't like to be with people all the time. I mean, we can be with people just for not like a long time. I think the longest I can last for is like in half an hour to maybe an hour, and then I'm just done. I'm just like, can we go home now and stuff. Also, another thing with my friend was I found that if a new person would join a group, like I think it's because she was like an only child. So basically, I had another friend. I won't say her name, but she was really well. Actually, before she used to bully me a lot because I have no idea. Because my best friend and her would like clash at times, but then they would become friends, and then somehow I would get kind of left out of the group, and it made no sense. But then my best friend would make me choose between me and her, and I'm like, why do I have to do this? So I don't know, because if I hung out with the other girl, my best friend would get really mad at me, and there would kind of be consequences. Like, she wouldn't talk to me.
Again, that's not real friendship right there. Real friendship, they would never do anything like that to you. They would never make you pick between one friend or them. That's not a real friendship at all.
Me for like a long time, but if I hung out with my best friend, the other friend would feel left out and sad, and then she started bullying me. So it was like, I guess either way, if I had to choose either one, it would still be consequences. So I'm like, screw it. Can we just all be friends? So I guess it kind of worked out. I don't know. They would clash like all the time. It's like one minute they would be really good friends, and then another day they would just be like, I hate you so much, and I'm just like, why? So yeah, she used to bully me, but then I think I can't remember how I kind of befriended her. I think I just, you know what? I didn't do anything bad to her. She just randomly decided to bully me. I think I just killed her with kindness. So I was like, okay, just bully me. I don't care. I'm still gonna be nice to you. And I think that kind of won her over. So yeah, I would RP with her a lot, like Sonic the Hedgehog and Pokemon, because Pokemon was a really big part of my childhood. Along with this other show I liked, it was Pretty Cure, and it was the first Pretty Cure series I watched, and it's actually the first Pretty Cure series out of all the Pretty Cure series. So it was like number one, like the first ever Pretty Cure series ever made, and I loved that show so much when I was little. Like, I would like pretend to be the characters, and I would act out all the scenes, and I told my friends about it, and they made fun of me because they thought girly magical girl shows were for babies, and it hurt a lot because they would make fun of it, and the type of person I was, I just wanted to play with someone like Pretty Cure style at recess, but no, it had either had to be Pokemon or Sonic the Hedgehog, and that sucked because I really love that show. But it's okay. I kind of just sometimes I'll just play at recess by myself and stuff like that. So I mean, like, there were other things I liked too. Like, I really liked, like, when I was 11, I liked Selena Gomez a lot. Like, I really thought she was cool. But my friend, for some reason, would just get, like, not, like, grumpy, but just, like, not interested. Like, it got to the point where she was like, you're not allowed to talk about her. And I was like, okay. So basically, to sum it up, my friend, um, whatever I liked that she didn't like, I wasn't allowed to express it or talk about it. So basically, anything she liked, it was okay, but whatever I liked, it wasn't. So to sum it up, yeah, it kind of always was her way. Like, if I talked about something she didn't like, she would give me this really bad death glare, and I would be like, okay. But yeah, I think it's because, I don't know, I think it's because she's an only child. I have no idea. She's, and I'll get on to her later, I guess. So when I was like 13, my friend, my best friend, and my other friend both introduced me to Vocaloid, and if I could go back in time, I would slap my past self for not liking Vocaloid right away, because when I first found out, well, when I first looked up Hatsune Miku, I actually didn't care about her, but I actually liked Rin more because I thought she was cute, but I really hate myself for not liking Miku in the past, but she grew on me, and I'm a huge, big fan of Vocaloid. Like, if I see any merch of Vocaloid, I will buy it, no matter what the cost is. I don't know why. I just have, like, such a problem with when it comes to something I like in town. It's like, you see something you want, and you know you probably don't need it because it's pricey and stuff, and you have no idea where to put it, but your mind just tells you, buy it. So yeah, that's me every time I see Vocaloid merch or anime merch or whatever the case may be. So yeah. And when I was 14, they introduced me to anime. Well, I guess my best friend did. She made me, Actually, technically, Pokemon was the first anime I ever watched, but I didn't know Pokemon was anime, so yeah. So my best friend introduced me to an anime called Black Butler. Um, it was either I think at the time I was watching, I think it was Black Butler and Lucky Star at the same time, because oh my god, Lucky Star is like such a big part of my childhood. Like, I love that anime. It's so cute. Yeah. Oh no, wait. My best friend introduced me to Black Butler, and my other friend introduced me to Lucky Star. So I was watching them at the same time, at the same year.
Lucky Star is, without doubt, a very, very, very bizarre anime. I'm sorry. It is weird and it's hard to follow. Black Butler does look interesting. It's on my list to eventually watch.
There we go. But yeah, I watched it and I was like, this is cool. And then they would recommend me more animes to watch, and before I knew it, I was watching anime like all the time. So I guess when I went to high school, especially when I was like 15, so I guess grade 9, I was a really huge fan of. I don't know why. I was just like such an anime freak. Like, I have no idea. Like, anime was just like the one thing on my mind almost all the time. Like, I would go home and watch anime like every single day. I think the reason why I watched anime so much because it was like a comfort because of the type of friends I had. So I felt like when I was watching anime, it was like a comfort. Also, along with another show I like, My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. I actually watched that show when I was 13, so the same time I became a fan of Vocaloid. Um, Being a fan of MLP is really awesome, but there were consequences to it, unfortunately. My friend really didn't like the show, so she, of course, said I wasn't allowed to talk about MLP. So I guess my other friend was kind of into it, but my best friend was like, no MLP. She thought it was just like so cringy. But being a fan of MLP, I really love the show, honestly. Like, the show was so amazing, and I'm really sad it's ended. Like, I've seen every single episode from season 1 to season 9, and of course, Applejack is my favorite. Just want to point that out. I remember, like, how old was I now? I think I was, no, wait, I was 15, okay. I was at Spencer's, it's a store, and they had a Rainbow Dash bag, and it was so freaking cool. I bought the thing, and I was a little bit scared to wear it at school because I knew people would make fun of me, but honestly, I didn't care because when the sun shines on it, it makes like this rainbow reflection, like rainbow effect on the bag. It's really cool. I think I'll show you guys it sometimes, but it's really old, so it's a little bit ripped up and stuff. So I would wear it to high school, and my best friend thought it was like cringy. Like, well, actually, I forgot to say, I also have a Sonic bag from the same store. It's really fluffy and it's really awesome. So, anyways, I would wear the Rainbow Dash bag to high school, and people would give me weird looks because I was 15, and apparently people who are 15, like a girl my age, shouldn't like that kind of stuff. But I was like, screw it. I also have a Rainbow Dash shirt that says "Come at me, bro." It's really awesome. I'm pretty sure I've shown it to you in one of my videos, but yeah, people would kind of make fun of me, and they would sing the other version of the My Little Pony song, like "My Little Pony, skinny and bony," and it was really annoying, but I didn't care. But I don't know, like I remember one time I was sitting with my best friend on the bus, and she just really didn't like my Rainbow Dash bag. Like, she was like, "Could you like turn it the other way? The face is kind of creeping me out." And I was like, "What the frick is wrong with you?" Versus, like, if I had the Sonic bag on me, she would be like, "Oh my god, it's so soft." But if I had the Rainbow Dash bag, she would be like, "That's just really creepy." I'm like, okay. Again, I wasn't allowed to really express the things I liked with my best friend because she was very controlling.
Yeah, that's not a very healthy friendship. She's not your friend at that point. That there's Look for red flags when making friends. That's all I can say. Look for the red flags.
So, yeah, that's basically my whole life. Like, I even remember she took me to an anime club in the high school, and being the person that I am a Pisces. That is my zodiac sign. Pisces are very kind of like servant like to people, so we kind of just say, okay, it's just the way we are. So, of course, I said, okay. I just went, and basically, what they did at the club is that they just watched anime and they didn't talk to each other. And I was like, dude, why am I even here? Like, I could be at home right now watching anime. Why do I have to watch it with people? And I was really hungry when the first day I went. And the first freaking anime we watched was Hitalia. And of course, there was like so much food related stuff in that episode, and I ate all my lunch, so I didn't have any more food. So I was like really hungry, and of course we were watching an anime about food, and I was like, really? Well, actually, Hitalia is about like countries portrayed as humans. So yeah, I really didn't like high school. Really didn't like it. But on graduation day, so yeah, grade whatever, grade 12, I'm guessing. I can't remember. I hate high school. I remember the last day of high school, like our graduation. Like, you graduate with your friends and then you have a party. I remember that day, I was listening to so much Skrillex. I don't know why. And I was like, screw this. I'm listening to Skrillex. And I think it was Kyoto. That song was amazing. I like Skrillex. Favorite song by them is Bangarang. Just want to point that out. I don't know why. I was just listening to that song on repeat. Like, I just got so pissed when I was at the party. I was like, I don't want to be here. I just want to go home and listen to Skrillex. But to be honest, I actually had a fun time with my friend, not my best friend, because she ditched the party. She went home early because I don't know. I think it's because I was hanging out with my other friend, so she was like, "Oh, okay." But to be honest, since I'm an introvert, I don't like being near people. We were actually the last people out of the school, so I must have really had a fun time because I don't know. We were talking about like anime and stuff, and yeah, that was really fun. I'm actually sorry, I actually got those mixed up. It was my elementary school graduation, not my high school graduation, because during high school I went through something really difficult. So if you guys know about the Kiyomi thing, you guys know what happened. But if you guys who are new to my channel and don't know about the Kiyomi thing, I'll explain it. So when I was 15, back when Google Plus was a thing, I posted something about Silver the Hedgehog. Like it was just a picture of him, and this girl, I think it was, what was it, Cheerful Miku, I think that was her account name. She commented and we talked and we became friends, and she was Japanese, air quotation marks, and we became like really good friends because it was really like I think the reason why I got like so happy with her is because she was like the first person to ever actually take interest in the same things I like. So basically, when you meet someone who actually cares about the things you like and actually likes some of the same things you like versus the best friend I had who just showed no interest in the things I liked, yeah, you would be really happy too. I mean, don't get me wrong, she actually got me into a lot of things that I liked to this day that I still like. So I guess in a way she kind of shaped me into the person I am today. Like she introduced me to Vocaloid, she introduced me to Sonic the Hedgehog, she introduced me to anime. I don't know, like she introduced me to roleplay, so I guess in a way she kind of is responsible for the things I like that I really hold dear to my heart. So I guess she did do something right, but still, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love those things, but there are other things that I like that I really wish I could have talked to her with. Like, just chill and just be like, oh my god, I love this and that. Like, just have a connection, but I guess it didn't work out that way. So I really feel like I missed out a lot on my childhood. Just a little bit, but anyways. So we bonded and stuff, and we always talked about, like, she lived in America, I lived in Canada. We always talked about, like, hanging out and stuff, and, on October 4th, I got like the worst thing ever. So basically was I got a text message saying that she had died, and being I was 15 at the time, I was very devastated, and I was just like really broken, like, and I had to go to school the next day, so I was like just really like shut down in a way. It was just so hard to cope with, and I don't know why, but so when you lose someone very near and dear to you, it's extremely hard to move on and process it, especially because I was 15 when it happened. I was very young. I've never experienced anything like it in my life before, so of course I was just devastated, and it was just really hard to cope with it, especially because I was in high school at the time it happened. So it was extremely hard to go to school because I was, it was really hard because I also got to mention before this whole Kiyomi did thing that my best friend actually ended our friendship over it because I was happy with someone else, so she ended our friendship. And
Again, that was not a good friendship. Friends will stay there with you no matter what you're going through. True friends do. They are there for you. They will be supportive. People have lost what the definition of a friend is because I see so many people who claim to be friends that aren't friends, that stab you in the back as soon as they possibly can. It's sad and depressing. It's why I don't have many friends, and the very few friends I do are the ones I trust with my life.
Apparently she said I cried too much because again at the other time Kiyomi went missing, not like missing, but I didn't hear from her for 5 weeks, so I was really upset, so it affected me at school and it made me cry at school a little bit, and then my best friend ended the friendship, so yeah. Anyways, on to the other story. It was really hard to go to school because number one, it was your best friend that's dead, and number two, it was extremely hard to see people with their best friends because again, my other best friend ended our friendship, so I was all alone. She also told my other friends to stop being my friends. So to sum it up, I lost all of my friends all at once, all because I cried over someone I missed. So yeah, all your childhood friends were like gone just like that. It made no sense. Like again, she controlled people. I didn't understand. It was such. I swear, I really don't like it. But yeah, I was really depressed, really suicidal, and stuff like that. And I guess the way I kind of coped with it was, I find that, in my opinion, the first step to moving on with depression or suicidal thoughts or um, the passing of a loved one is forgiveness. I think that's the first step. Like, as hard as it was, I kind of just forgave the person who killed her, and I just kind of forgave what had happened, almost like basically like accepting what has happened. I found that as soon as I did that, I started to feel a little bit better, but it was really hard. But yeah, that's kind of how I did with it. And I think I kind of just started shutting people out of my life because that kind of just did me in. Like, I, to this day, ever since that's happened, I have extreme trust issues with people. Like, I cannot trust people. Like, it really affected me, like, even having friends. Because I remember my best friend had other friends, like new friends, and they got on Google Plus somehow, and then they started making fun of me and putting me down. Like, saying, oh, I hope the next best friend you have will die too, and stuff like that. So I was getting bullied a lot, and it made no sense because, of course, I'm suicidal, and I was, like, going through all this stuff, and then her friends come and attack me online, and it was just, like, too much. I swear to God. Sorry if I'm crying. It's just really hard to talk about. So yeah, that happened, and it really wasn't fun. But 4 or 5 years later, I got a text message on Hangouts saying this person wanted to talk about the Kiyomi thing, and she basically told me that this Kiyomi person who I thought I was talking to never did die. She faked it, and she was actually pretending to be one of her friends that was named Kiyomi. She was pretending to be her friend, and you have. I actually have screenshots of it, actually. I still have it on my Hangouts. I was really in shock and upset and confused, but I guess at the same time I was happy because no one died, but still. Imagine thinking that your best friend is like dead, and you think of that for almost 5 years, and then the person comes out after 4 years saying, oh hey, this person never really died. Like, why would you do that? Why would you put someone through something like that? Why would you let that happen for 4 years and not tell me? I even said it the day I found out the news. I said I just want the truth. I wanted to know if it was real or not. Like, why would you do that for 4 years?
Some people are really, really, really fucked up in the head, and they enjoy other people's miseries. They don't care at what cost.
It's messed me up so much. Like, ever since that thing has happened, I'm not the same person I am anymore. It affects me so much. Like, I can't trust people. Like, I can't. Like, I shut off my emotions now almost. Like, I don't cry as much as I used to. Like, I just, like, I have no sympathy for people anymore almost. Like, it sucks. Like, it took me a long time to actually get back into the things I really liked because I was just so done with everything. But now that I'm starting to go back into the things I like, I kind of just not like shut people out, but I don't get attached to people anymore because I think I was a little bit naive for thinking it, but I just don't get attached to people. Like, if I see some person say something or do something, even if it's like not even mean, I will like have red flags up immediately and I'll distance myself a little bit. Like, even with my best friend now, like, I don't know why, but it's just I just I can't trust people. It's very rare for me to have a little bit of trust in people. Like, the only person I can really trust is my mom and my dad and my friend Jeffrey, who's been with me ever since that whole Kiyomi thing. So thank you, Jeffrey, for sticking by my side.
You're very welcome, Miku. You were kind of mean to me during that whole time, but I understand what it's like to go through a grieving process. You do shut everybody out, kind of. You just want to be left alone. But thankfully, my friends were there for me, and I thank them so much for that. Sadly, a lot of those people aren't my friends no more, but the ones that still are, I do thank them so much. And knowing this, and knowing how much friendship meant during these times, and seeing you in your current state, I could not just stand by and let you take this on alone. You needed a friend, and I said, I'm gonna be your friend. I am gonna be here for you. I'm not gonna abandon you or leave you like all these other people are. I will be your friend, because you need a friend right now. And since then, our friendship has blossomed, and we are now best friends. Or at least, I hope I'm your best friend. You're definitely one of my best friends. So, out of the ugly came a beautiful friendship. But, yeah, I would, if I see people really emotionally upset, I will be your friend and I will help you through it. Because I know what it's like. After that, you can still be my friend or not. People have used me for emotional support, and then once they've gotten over it, they've just ignored me or unfollowed me and just stopped talking to me. But more than not, those people actually do stick around to being my friend, and I am very glad for that. I have made so many friends, and I'm very grateful that you became my friend, Lovable Hatsune Miku, throughout this, that you didn't stop talking to me or ignoring me or blocking me. You still wanted to be my friend throughout that whole ordeal. Thank you.
So happy you stuck by my side. I'm sorry if I'm crying so much. He stuck by my side, so we've been friends for like 5 or 6 years. So I trust him the most when it comes to talking about stuff I can't tell other people. But other people, no, I can, it's like, I don't trust you, but I'll let you hang out with me. I'll be your friend, I just don't trust you at all. It's really hard to explain, but yeah. I also forgot to say that during the whole death of Kiyomi thing, um, like she had a sister, quotation marks, of course, and apparently she died in a car crash, and I was 16 when that happened, so that really hurt me. And I had another friend, apparently she died in this earthquake in Italy, and thinking of it now, like, I honestly wonder if that was the same person who faked Kiyomi's death who faked those deaths too, because it's really hard to tell. Because it's like, maybe she faked all 3 deaths. Like, it really makes me think now. Like, all those crying, like, all of that crying and, depression and sorrow and mourning, like, why would you do that? And the weird part is, I actually forgave the person. Like, it shows it in the text message that I actually forgave the person. Like again, like I said, I think that it's yep, forgiveness. It's how you move on. Don't know why. Even though I was so mad at the person, I still forgave them after everything they did to me. Because I guess if I didn't forgive, I wouldn't be human, I guess. I'm sorry if I'm just talking about a lot about the sad stuff in my life. Anyways, so yeah, that whole Kiyomi thing has happened, and yeah, I just don't have trust for people. So now, ever since that happened, I find that I don't care about, to say it in the nicest way, I don't care about humans or people, humans and people, same thing. Very isolated. Again, I'm an introvert, so um, to put it in this way, I care more about animals than I do with humans. Like if a person dies in a movie, I won't care, but if the dog or animal dies in a movie, I will probably cry. I just don't have that sympathy for people anymore because I was just so hurt by that one person that it just made me lose all hope in people. And I'm not saying that I don't trust my subscribers. Like I love them so much. I find that I talk to people online, like my closest friends that I've known for a long time, like on MeWe. I trust them more than I trust people in real life. And even though, I don't know, I just trust them more. Even if I know they're probably, yeah, I'm sure they're real people too. Like, they actually care about my feelings and I can trust them a lot, especially my friend Jeffrey. Like, it's just gotten to the point where I'm just like that now. Like, don't get me wrong, I do care about people, but you have to be really important for me to care about you. Like I'm not gonna just care about you, even if you're a stranger. Like you probably have to know me for a long time for me to actually care about you. Like I don't know, it's weird. So yeah, that's kind of the sad stuff that's happened in my life. Oh, I also forgot to say that my grandma also died during that time in 2016. So to top it off, Kiyomi died, her sister died, my friend died in Italy, and then my grandma died. So yeah, that's four deaths all at once. Well, yeah, all in the same month. Well, Kiyomi died in 2015, the other died in 2016. So yeah, imagine trying to deal with all of that on your shoulders. Oh, and not to mention that my mother also had a minimum stroke. So yeah, that's freaking like, it was just so much.
I'm sorry to hear about your mother. I hope she's recovered now and doing better. Ever since I got out of high school in 2014, I have lost someone dear to me every single year. 20, let's see, it was spring of 2015, I believe. I lost my great grandfather and my dog Spike, who's been with me since 1999. 2016, I lost my great grandmother. Uh, 2017, I lost my grandfather. 2018, I believe it was. I think it was last year. No, hold on. Well, maybe it was 2018. I lost my cousins, two of my cousins. 2019, uh, my grandfather lost my. Technically, he's my step grandfather, but he's more of a grandfather to me than anything else. He lost his brother. It was actually on Christmas that he died. So that was not good at all. And then this year, 3 weeks ago, I think it was, one of my coworkers who I've known for about 5 years died of a heart attack. She got in her car from work and never left. So, and now from what I understand, my great uncle Lynn is in the hospital with heart problems. I have not been kept up to date on that information, so I don't know what's happened. My great aunt ain't really telling people much about it. The only reason I knew was, I think it was my aunt or my grandmother that told me. Or it was my grandmother that told me. But since high school, I have lost someone very dear to me. Actually, 2014, just before I was going to graduate, no, it wasn't. It was near the end of 2014, I lost my great-grandmother on my dad's side. I called her Granny. And I swear I cursed it. The day before I found out, I wrote a article about my family tree and everything. I wrote down that my great-grandmother was in a nursing home. She wasn't doing too well, but they did say she was getting a little better. And then the next day, I woke up. I heard my mom say, "Oh no," over the phone. It was the way she said it. Something was wrong. And I asked her, and she told me that she had passed away in her sleep. And I could not tell my sister for 2 days because she wanted my dad to be home when she told her. I wasn't even supposed to know. So for 2 days, I had to go to school with a straight face and not tell my sister that our granny died. And the worst part of it was I had counselors talking to me the 2 days. The teachers would come up to me during class and talk to me, and it was not fun at all. Ugh. And when my cousin Linda passed away, it was very fast. I was at SEMO, so I believe it was 2019. Or no, it was 2018 because I think Jake was his name was my roommate, and I just got a call from my mom saying that your cousin Linda has been rushed to the hospital. That we don't know much at the moment. I'm like, okay, well, I hope everything goes okay. And then I kid you not, 10, 15 minutes later, I get a call from my dad. He's just like, "How you doing, Jeffrey? How's school going? Your cousin Linda passed away." And I'm like, Mom just said she was just rushed to the hospital. That was like 15 minutes ago. I was so upset. Losing family is not like losing a friend. Because friends, sometimes they come, sometimes they go. But your best friends will always be there for you when family can't be. But for every other time your family's there, you grew up with your family, you've known your family longer than any friends. Except for my friend Caleb. He's like a cousin to me. I actually have a photo of him holding me as a baby. So our friendship started as soon as I was born. So technically I've known him for as long as I've known my other family. So about 24 years. Not many friendships. Not many friends can say that they held you as a baby. I mean, he's a very successful person now. He's on with Cape Girardeau, governor or something with the governor of Cape Girardeau he's working with. He is running for POTUS when he turns of age. He's got my vote. He's a very respectable man. But, yeah, ever since high school, I've lost one to two people dear to me. So, and also when my cousin Linda passed away, I think it was the next month, her husband passed away, so my cousin was kind of orphaned. And I love him to death. And I really am glad to see that he's doing good for himself now. And I am still so sorry for your loss, Kyle. Your mom and dad were amazing people.
I honestly have no idea how I'm still alive. I think I was just too shut off to express emotions. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I can tell you that I was just so happy when I finished high school. I found that the way I was coping with this stupid stuff is that I would listen to Vocaloid a lot, like Hatsune Miku. I would watch MLP, and I guess I would watch anime. Yeah, and, yeah, those are kind of like my safe places. To be honest, in my opinion, I think I'm more like emotionally attached to things that aren't real, like fictional things, than I am with humans because the fictional things, like instance Hatsune Miku, Sonic the Hedgehog, or anime, or even animals like dogs, I get, I don't know, they're just like my safe haven. Like, I just rely on those more than I do with people because it can't hurt me. So like you know that show like My Strange Addiction where the person is like addicted to an inanimate object or something. It's weird, but I truly do understand why they're like that because they were obviously hurt in their life, so they go to things that they know can't hurt them. So I'm like that too. Like even with that guy who married Hatsune Miku, I saw that video on YouTube. I didn't think it was real at first, but I surprisingly I don't think it's weird because I can understand. He did say in the video that he got hurt by someone, and yeah, I can honestly understand why he got so attached to Hatsune Miku. Like I'm guilty too. I'm like really attached to her too. Not gonna lie, if I was that dude, I would probably marry her too if I could because again, humans. I think we just humans just can't take certain things, so we rely on other things that aren't real to make us happy, like otakus or we like like otakus and stuff like people who like anime. I think they use it to escape reality too. Like we just get attached to things that just really make us happy, even if it's like a fictional character or not. Like it's kind of interesting, but unfortunately, I am like that. That's also another reason why I don't want to date people. I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. I just want to grow up and make YouTube videos with my pet dog Gabriella, and that's basically what I want for myself. And people are like, "Well, how are you not gonna get married and have kids?" I'm like, "Dude, have you met me?" I don't want to get married because, again, if you get married, there are chances you can get cheated on and divorced, and that costs a lot of money when you get divorced. Like, basically, you lose half of your earnings and stuff. I mean,
I don't know how it is like that in Canada, but actually in America, if that happens, the woman gets half the stuff of the men, and they get alimony checks from the man. If it's vice versa, nothing happens. So women don't realize that they have that much power in a relationship. So, so if a man divorces a woman, the man has to give up half of his possessions and has to pay her a monthly check. If a woman divorces a man, nothing happens at all. It's kind of a sexist law. It's outdated. We need to really do something about it. But yeah, I don't know how it is up there in Canada.
yeah, I guess being married can be fun and stuff, but again, I just can't trust people, and I would never put myself through something like that to get hurt again by someone, so I actually like being single because you save a lot of money. Like, you don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of money on Valentine's Day for someone special, and you have more food, and you don't have to share with people, and you can be yourself, and you don't have to put on an act, and you know what? Just, just the type of person I am. I just want to have a pet dog and make YouTube videos along with my pet fish. I just want to have a single, happy, carefree life. Because it's taken me this long to actually finally start to get my life back on track. Like seriously, that whole Kiyomi thing has messed me up so much that I just kind of watch stuff now on YouTube, and I kind of, not gonna lie, sometimes I do drink to forget, just one drink, and it's apple cider or rum and coke. I sometimes drink if I'm feeling really low. It's only one drink though. I don't drink like five, but it just calms me down. Like as soon as I get a buzz, I feel good, and I know I shouldn't. I actually rely on music more. Like again, I watch YouTube videos and stuff. I either make YouTube videos or listen to music or just sometimes. Actually, another thing that really helped me was I wrote stories when I was in 16 with the whole like Kiyomi thing. I actually wrote stories, and the ones I wrote was Shinyu. If you haven't seen any of those chapters, please go watch those videos. It's a story I wrote. It's 35 chapters long, and the other story I wrote was Hope. That is 45 chapters long. Yeah, those are stories I wrote. Actually, Shinyu I wrote when I was 16, and Hope I wrote when I was 17. Really good stories, but I recommend Shinyu more because it's more emotional, and the ending is kind of sad, but yeah. I found that those things really helped me, like, cope. So, I'm really glad I actually wrote that story because, not gonna lie, it's probably my favorite story of all time because I just really like the message in it, and I found that it helped me cope with Kiyomi's death, even though again, the person said it never happened, but half of me wants to believe it and the other half of me doesn't want to. Because honestly, anyone can say that, oh, it never happened. Like, they could just be saying that just to, like, let it go. It's really hard to tell. Like, what if someone, like, really did die? Like, I don't know. I don't like talking about it. Like, since that, I never talked about it that much with my mom because she would get so upset. It's so hard to bottle it all up. It's so hard to bottle all your emotions up. That's why I get so emotional when I talk about this. Because, again, I had no one. Like, ugh. This is why I like being by myself. Because no one can hurt me if I'm by myself. But enough of that stuff. Again, I never said my childhood was all rainbows and sunshine. But ever since that person told me, I actually have been doing better in life. Haven't really been suicidal. I mean, I do get really down in the dumps. College, though, I feel like it's taking a toll on me. It's kind of making me a little bit depressed and almost suicidal, but again, I'm just so broken.
That that's not just because you're broken. In America, next to doctors, college students have the highest risk for suicide. College is a scam, people. Look at me. I have a bachelor's of science, and what am I doing? I'm a custodian making $10 an hour. Yeah, my bachelor's of science got me great deals, internships for sales representatives. I went for a graphic design degree, not a sales degree. I know nothing about sales, and they're one-time jobs. Nothing serious or permanent, which really pissed me off. If it wasn't for my IT skills, I wouldn't have been able to apply for this IT job. I'll be making not as much as I would with a degree, about $14 an hour. I'll still be getting paid once a month, but it's a start. And I really think college screwed me over, and now I'm paying the bill for it. So trust me, college is a scam. Trade schools are where it's at. They give you the hands-on experience, and they will be more upfront with you if your career is actually worthwhile or not. So trust in trade schools.
Just too lazy to even try to kill myself now, but yeah, I kind of just rely on anime and YouTube to kind of just help me cope with it, or Vocaloids, like I said. I actually bought the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, because Project Diva Mega Mix is coming out. The Japanese version already came out, but I think the English version comes out in March sometime. And I also ordered an anime figure because I'm a sad person and I have no life. I spent all my money on like anime, mostly Vocaloids and Pokemon cards. It's stuff like that that really just makes me happy versus like with people. Like, I don't rely on people to make me happy. I rely on the things I like to make me happy. I know that sounds a little bit mean, but again, I just can't trust humans anymore. I'm done with them. But or animals. I like animals too. My puppy makes me happy. Got a new dog. But yeah, that's kind of my whole life. Well, not all of it. Like, of course, I grew up with Disney and stuff like that. I think the first Disney movie I ever watched was Snow White, actually. And then I think it was Pinocchio, then The Lion King, and then Pixar for Finding Nemo. Definitely want to point out the fact that I watched The Lion King and Finding Nemo like almost every night, and I've actually asked other people at my college, and they actually did the same thing too. It was always The Lion King and Finding Nemo. I was like, yay, I'm not the only person who actually watched those movies. I love The Lion King. I mean, it's probably my favorite Disney movie of all time, but I don't know. I find that Disney isn't as, not as magical, but ever since like Tangled came out, like that kind of 3D style almost, like the old comparison, like the hand drawn, like with the Little Mermaid, the Lion King, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast, like the hand drawn. I like that kind of Disney style more versus with like the Tangled style version. Because ever since Tangled came out, all the other Disney and Pixar movies have been like that. Like with Moana and Frozen, I'm like, can we just please go back to the 2D hand drawn animation? I think the last Disney animation that we ever got that was 2D hand drawn was The Princess and the Frog, and it's sad because I really like that style of animation. It's so beautiful.
Um, I think you're right. Before that was Home on the Range, maybe. That one was very unpopular, but the problem is, I mean, I still see a lot of good 2D animation out there, like Gary and his Demons. That's 2D. That was awesome. Ben 10 was 2D. That was awesome. It 2D the animation doesn't really matter because CG 3DI or 3D can easily be fucked up and ruin the whole thing, especially when it makes no sense or when you try to do a hybrid. Like Disney did with their remake of Shaolin Showdown. The CGI was just useless and made no sense whatsoever. But there are still a lot of good 2D animations out there. If you have a very good story written behind it, it will work. I mean, look at South Park. Look at The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, Duncanville that just came out. That's actually pretty good. I actually like it a lot. Duncanville. What else? There's a lot of shows out there that are still being made in 2D, but they're more the adult comedies. Whereas kids shows, it's 3D now, which I'm not a fan of, really. Star Wars The Clone Wars was a really good CGI one, I will admit. I loved that one to death. I am very kind of creeped out about the Pokemon remake one. Ash and Misty looks creepy as hell, and Brock looks creepy as fuck, but, hey, they made something in 2020 with Brock again, so it's worth watching. I'm just gonna get this creepy vibe the whole time watching it. I know I am. I'm gonna watch it with my friend. So, yeah, it's weird.
I mean, I'm not saying that the other people who do that 3D motion or whatever kind of Tangled style version, it's cool, but it's just like, please go back to hand drawn animation. It's so beautiful. I just love seeing the behind the scenes for the Disney, like how they actually draw the characters. I always used to love going behind the scenes, like with the DVDs. It was just so much fun, and also with the voice acting. I also really wanted to be a voice actor when I was little, but me being a scared child that I was too afraid to take drama classes. And again, my best friend was kind of in drama classes, so I was like, no, thank you. But since I have the YouTube channel now, I feel like I can express myself more. So I guess in a way, I am doing voice acting just a little bit, and it's really fun. Also, YouTube I feel like is another escape for me because again, I'm a very hurt child. If you can't tell, I don't cry if humans die. Like if you take me to a funeral, I won't cry, even if I know the person or not. Like again, it's just because I'm just so hurt inside that I just can't express my emotions. But I guess I'd rather not cry than would cry because if I cry then I'll be sad. But if you don't cry, I guess there's nothing to be sad about really. But that's just my opinion. Don't hate me. Also, I found that yeah, listening to Japanese music and K-pop really helps. Like I've been listening to Japanese music ever since I was 13 and I was 14 when I started listening to K-pop. So yeah, also other things that I grew up with was Bonsai Pro. They were a cosplay group. I was 14 when I found out about them, and they were like my childhood. If you guys don't know them, please go check them out. Geez, those videos that they made, I would watch them like non-stop. Like, honestly, I don't know, it's weird. Like, looking back at my childhood, I had a pretty awesome childhood, like Sonic the Hedgehog, Pokemon, Precure. Also watched Bakugan. That was another good show. Just like I don't know, like I'm just a nerd, I guess you could say. Most
The old cartoons and animes, they had more story behind them. They were written better, in my opinion. But overall, there are still some new shows coming out. But like I said, they're mostly in the adult cartoons. These kids, they're getting the shit end of animation and storytelling. I'm still surprised we're still getting good shit here. I mean, let's face it, Adult Swim hasn't had a good show on in a long time. Their only good shows are the ones they repeat. But, I'm really hoping forward that Adult Swim actually comes out with some more good stuff. I will admit, Rick and Morty, good move there, Adult Swim. Very good move. Hopefully we get some more series like Rick and Morty, because that is awesome and hilarious.
Mostly Vocaloid, Sonic the Hedgehog, Pokemon, and anime are probably the things I like the most in this world. Well, yeah, I guess MLP too. I love MLP. I also really like Blackpink. They are a Korean group. probably my favorite Korean group of all time, to be honest, because I don't care about BTS. Basically, to describe myself, I'm probably that friend you wish you had growing up, but you never did have growing up. That's how I would describe myself.
Yeah, that's actually true. I wish you were my friend growing up.
Also, my real name is actually Taylor and not Lovable Hatsune Miku, so there you guys go. You guys finally know my real name. Not gonna tell you how old I am, but I was born on February 20th. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry if this video was really sad, but that's kind of my childhood and my life story right now at the time. Still in college, but my goal is to just become a YouTuber and have that as a full-time job and yeah, get my dog and be happy and make videos for you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me and being awesome, and for the birthday wishes you guys all sent me. That's really cool. So yeah, until then, I will see you again.
You have had a very troublesome childhood, Miku, and I am very sorry for the events that have happened to you. Not everybody gets a good family. Not everybody gets a happy childhood. Uh, but you made it this far in life. After the whole Koyomi thing, I've seen you improve so much. And yes, there are times where you relapse back, but you toughen it out, and I'm very proud of you that you've made it this far in life. You haven't given up, and that's good. You have been a very good friend to me, Miku, and I am very grateful that you are my friend. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to Lovable Hatsune Miku. Also subscribe to me. Like this video, like her original video, comment on her original video. And as always, have a nice day. Live, love, and game on.